Hi everyone, it's Janelle. I came back with you with I guess a 2-week review of the raw Malaysian Wavy from DhairBoutique. And I know it took a while for me to come back, but I had so much going on in my business and things like that. So I was trying to get it out a little bit faster than I did, but I made it. So hopefully it won't take that long next time. So we'll go over it step by step and basically try to kind of figure out things on why I kept running into certain mishaps. So first of all, I just want to mention that this is absolutely not a bash video. I don't want to come off across as being like, oh my gosh, this is horrible hair and this and the other, blah, 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 because it's not. It actually came out to be pretty good hair. I just ran into some things that I wasn't really expecting, considering that I have been working with Brazilian hair since about 2011, 2012. And I kind of have certain expectations from certain companies. So I expect a little bit more from a company, especially when they have sponsors and things like that. I expect a little bit more from a company that actually has things like that going, instead of like AliExpress to where like you don't hold much to them because it's so cheap. But with these companies, the hair is a little bit more out of reach, so you kind of expect to not do as much when you get the hair in. I just wanted to put that forward. It's not here to bash a company. It's not here to do anything of the sort. It's just here to bring knowledge to people about how certain things are being sent out, especially when you're not a true reviewer, I guess you can say. So here it goes. So first of all, this is the first time I've actually bought hair from DhairBoutique. I've actually bought hair from them probably about maybe back in February of this year. I actually bought some Cambodian. I believe it was 16, 18, 20. That's usually how I kind of stay in that kind of range of the hair length. But this one I actually bought Malaysian Wavy in 18, 20, 22. I actually bought them for about, the total came out to be $320 and the shipping was $20. So considering that, that's, pretty expensive, when it comes to hair and things like that, I would kind of expect a little bit more. Considering that I spent less for AliExpress hair and it actually came out a little bit better in condition than what it did. I showed you guys what it looked like when I first got it in. It looked like the bundles had been unraveled and it just kind of sloppily put back together. The wefts were unraveled. I basically had to just sew them back together. And when I say the wefts were unraveled, like there was strings hanging from it, it wasn't the fact that it was a bad thing. It was just the fact that it was unraveled and the hair was kind of coming off. So I had to basically flip the strings over and re-sew them back together just so it would quit unraveling. That's what I meant by there was a lot of strings. I guess I didn't kind of make that clear. So I want to kind of make it understandable now. The wefts were pretty thick as well. I wouldn't say they were super thick. I would just say that they were wide. Does that make sense? Wide as in like, they're probably, pretty, how like a weft can be a certain size, and it kind of were a bit tall. So when it comes to the beards and things like that, all of that kind of stuff matters, especially when you're dealing with like shorter textures or things like that where the beards are kind of poking out and things like that. So I kind of had to like work with it, lay the tracks extra flat, because I had to keep going back through and re-sewing down some of the wefts because the beards would kind of stand up a little bit tall because the wefts were a bit long. I don't know if you can see it now, but let's try to zoom in on this. Oh, is that not gonna get it? But you can see how the beard is kind of tall. It's kind of difficult to tell on camera. So it's kind of tall, and then the beard is just sticking out, you know. So when you kind of are in a weird place, as in like you're going to flip the track over or something like that, this is what happens, and that's kind of odd, kind of sticking out. So then it kind of pokes your hair up a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but it's just something that you look at, considering that you're spending a little bit more money on hair that you kind of expect more from. The reason why I hold this hair in so high of, I guess, I just expect so much from this hair, especially this shipment, especially considering that last shipment it wasn't like this. So it was much easier to work with. I didn't run into any issues at all. The hair was perfectly fine. The only thing is that the hair gets kind of bushy. On the Cambodian hair, it got kind of bushy, but I didn't feel like that was a big problem, so I was just kind of like whatever. But with this hair, I kind of ran into some issues. One was the weft issue. The other issue that I actually kind of ran into is that the longest weft, or the longest bundle, which was the 22, it was pretty long. So, you know, I was just kind of taking my time, you know, this and the other. And when I got to the 20, and I'm going on the 20, and then I'm realizing that I have so much space left, and I only have a bundle left, and that weft looks even shorter. So the 18 and the 20 wefts were extremely short. I had to space them out a lot, which isn't bad. It's just I didn't really expect it, considering that the 22 was so long. Usually the 22 is usually the short weft, and then all the other ones are, you know, a bit longer. So it was just kind of backwards. So it just kind of threw me off on why it took me so long to actually make the wig. So yeah, I guess we could just sit here and talk about the condition of the hair. I've actually been wearing the hair for a couple days. Been enjoying it, actually. I kind of have more towards a bad attitude when it came to making the wig and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, like why is this making this wig so difficult? But you know, when I actually made the wig and I put it on, which I actually sewed it to a cap, and I sewed clips onto the cap, and I do have my real hair out, as you can tell. So I just kind of do like a really easy look. I usually stick to that. So what I did was that I actually blended the hair by just kind of hitting it with the wave iron a little bit. As you can tell, the texture is a bit wavy. It's not really straight. It's not really silky. It's more of just an average Malaysian texture. I did wave a little bit of the front, a little bit. But as you can see, this is how it looks. I didn't know cutting to the hair yet, or just yet, I'm sorry. I didn't know cutting to the hair just yet, because I kind of wanted you to see what it would look like just kind of out of the bag, besides the fact that I had to blend it in because I actually went somewhere today. So I'll let you see how long it actually hits. And then I'll try to show you, let me see if I can actually show you the back. Is it too dark? Okay guys, so yeah, that's it. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. I tried to actually kind of cover a majority of the things that people are worried about. Of course, it had no smell. Of course, it wasn't anything weird about the texture or anything like that. There's nothing that's like questioning you on, is it Brazilian hair or not? So it was nothing of the sort like that. It was just the fact that I kind of held it to a pretty high prestige, considering that the last hair was so nice that I expected a little bit more from it. So but so far, you know, it hasn't had any tangling, it hasn't had any issues. I just kind of spray it down with water, let it air dry, and then just kind of bump the front. So it seems like it's low maintenance for right now, so we'll definitely see how that goes. And I'll keep you updated on that situation. So that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know below in the bar, and hopefully, you know, you'll have the same experience as well. I'm hoping that, you know, more companies will somewhat put a little bit more thought into how it's being sent. But considering that I haven't really had any issues, I can kind of forget about that stuff. But right now, let's just kind of hope for the best, and I hope that everything rides out okay. So alright, so thank you so much for watching my video, and please subscribe. Thank you.